Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what it is that I do here. Let me tell you about it. I am a love coach specifically for women who have been cheated on. You have been cheated on, but you love him and you still want to stay with him and you want your family to work out and you want this relationship to be okay. So you want to heal and you want to reconcile. That is who I am here for. I am specifically here for those women. I know that there are plenty of women that are like, no, 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 Dasha, I would kick him to the curb. There is no reason for me to continue to be with somebody who has cheated on me. I completely understand you. Please feel free to show yourselves out. But that's not who I'm here for. I am here for the women who have decided that this is the person that they love. And in spite of their shortcomings, in spite of their failures, in spite of their betrayal, you still love them. You still want to work it out. You have children together. You just have a life together that you didn't want to leave because they did something stupid. And I am here to guide you along the path to healing and reconciling. If you would like a copy of my path, the dreams formula for healing and reconciling after infidelity, please put dreams in the comments. I will send you the link to get yourself a copy, okay? DM me or put it in the comments, dreams, or if you are on, if I catch you on Instagram, path. PATH, put it in the comments and you will receive the link for my dreams formula. I came up with this after years of trying to heal, trying all the things that people said would work, and finding out that they didn't work. Okay. Every single step of the dreams formula is something that somebody told me, and I turned around and did it the exact opposite way, and it worked. If I did it the way that they said to, it didn't work. Like the first step of the dreams formula is to decide. You have to make the decision that you want to do this, that you want to heal, that you want this life with this person. You are not going to sit here and doubt yourself. You are going to believe in your own choice. You're going to believe in your own love. And the advice that I was given was backwards. It was like, well, if he makes the decision, then you can stay. And I'm like, wait a minute, no, because his decision making hasn't been up to par lately. So no, thank you. I get to make that decision. Hey there, I see you over there, Sigma and Shark. I see you over there on YouTube. Hello. I am talking to you about how to heal, how to reconcile, how to get past the fact that you were cheated on and it is traumatic, and actually turn this relationship around, to be able to trust again, to be able to feel good about your decision, to fight through the fears that will naturally occur for something this big. This is a huge thing. You are trying to overcome a trauma, start to really love and trust somebody again, and come through it all while you're doing all the rest of the things that you have to do every day. It's impressive that you even want to try. All right. It's impressive that you are feeling like this is the person that you are willing to forgive, so much so that even though this hurt you, even though this broke you, you are still willing to try and work it out. I'm trying to tell you, you are doing some serious business here, all right? Hey there, Mara. I see you over there on YouTube. Glad you're here with me. You all let me know in the comments if you have questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything that has to do with healing and reconciling after infidelity. I am here for you. I have the answers, okay? And I have the answers because I came through it myself. I am 18 years this year past the infidelity. I am past the last infidelity, okay? 18 years have gone by. I have walked the path, the exact path that I will tell you about, and I have gotten to a place where we can talk about it. We can actually talk about what happened back then without it being a power struggle, without it being yelling and raised voices. We can actually talk about what happened and all of the little details that I wanted to know back then. I have been able to find out now. So if you are feeling like you need the full disclosure, let me let you know. down the path of healing, there is full disclosure, but you got to get there first. You got to start to do some of the healing first, because this is a trauma. You have been traumatized. This was a terrible thing that happened to you. Somebody that you loved dearly, desperately, hurt you in a way that you never even imagined that they would. Or you might have imagined it, but you were like, nah, he couldn't possibly. You have been taken by surprise by a trauma. So you got to treat it like a trauma. If you keep on digging into it, going back over every single solitary detail, stressing yourself out with it, you are going to halt your healing. Oh, I'm loud over here. Close that. Close that. Oh no, it just won't close. There we go. All right. So you're gonna prolong your healing if you don't treat it like a trauma. All right. Taylor, I see you over there on YouTube. Hello, glad you are here. If you've got questions about how to heal and reconcile after infidelity, I am here. I got you. I got the answers for you. We got to treat this like a trauma. So what we're going to do is start to treat it like a trauma. Trauma happens and it is a physical effect on your body. So the very first thing that we can do is a physical thing that will start to help it, okay? The very first thing that I want you to do for me is to do your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? If you have been with me, put in the comments how the deep breathing helps you in this process. But if you have not been with me, you don't know what I'm talking about. Let me explain to you. When you are healing from a trauma, trauma affects your body. There's a little part of your brain called the amygdala. It shoots off the signal to your adrenal glands to secrete adrenaline when you feel like you're in danger. And anything that reminds you of the trauma will signal that adrenaline pump. So all of a sudden your heart is racing and your vision is getting narrow and your mouth is dry and your hands are getting wet. All sorts of physical things are happening to you, including your breath speeds up. Your breath comes in gasp and you're not fully inhaling and you're not fully exhaling. And what you're doing while you're doing that is increasing the amount of carbon dioxide that's actually in your body at the time. So your body believes with that increase in carbon dioxide, it's like something must be wrong. We must be in super danger if that carbon dioxide level is jacked up like that and we got this adrenaline spike in. It believes that that feeling is real. So your deep breathing is the antidote to that. Your full deep inhales and exhales. Inhale, hold, exhale is going to teach your body, hey, I'm not actually in danger. Nothing is actually chasing me. I am actually okay in this moment. And it will bring you back around. It will ground you into the place where you need to be to start doing your healing. If you're always elevated, if your cortisol levels are always up, if your blood pressure is always high, if your pulse is always racing, you can't heal from this trauma. It's impossible. We have got to learn to center, regulate ourselves, get in control of our nervous systems, and then we can do the work of healing. So, we're going to do our deep breathing together. I want you to join me. What we do is 4-7-8 breathing. All you got to do is follow along with me. You'll get it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to blow out and we're going to try and deflate our lungs completely. All right. Hey, Simply Edits. I see you over there on YouTube. Hi. We're going to blow out. Exhale, decrease all of the air that's in our lungs. Then we're going to inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow out for a count of 8. We're going to do that 3 times in a row, but I want you at home to be doing this 5 times a day. I want you to be consistently working on doing your deep breathing, set an alarm for it in your phone so that every time you hear that alarm, you know, okay, I need to go do my deep breathing. I need to calm myself, center myself, get myself back in control because I don't want this trauma to be controlling me forever and ever. Okay. All right. What is a love coach? Absolutely. That is a wonderful question. What I do specifically is I help women who are wanting to heal and reconcile after infidelity. There are plenty of other love coaches and they give you different advice for different things. But me in particular, that is my specialty. I will teach you how to get back to the love after the betrayal. The betrayal has left you broken. It has left you hurt. It has left you disillusioned and angry. But you can get back to the love. If this is still a person that you love, you can absolutely get back to it. It does not matter that this has been such a big trauma. You can heal from trauma. You can get over this. And as a matter of fact, when you get over it, you feel like Superwoman because you can't believe you did such a thing. So I am here as a guide. I want to get you back on the path to love instead of on the path of fear that this trauma has brought you to. Okay. All right, so we're going to do our deep breathing together. Everybody join me. I will guide you along, all right? First things first, I want you to blow out, make the noise of blowing. Make that whooshing sound as much as you possibly can. Then inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you do the deep breathing? Put it in the comments. Let everybody know that you did your deep breathing and it felt wonderful. It will change something in how you feel. And that's what we're trying to do. If you're in the midst of the fight or flight response, if you're in the midst of your heart pounding out of your chest, changing something in your body is a better thing, right? If we are at that point and that adrenaline is pumping and our muscles are shaking and we are having a hard time already, if we can change anything about our bodies in that moment, it's going to make us start to feel a little bit better, a little bit more in control of ourselves, okay? So put it in the comments, however you feel when you are doing your deep breathing. All right. Now, the next thing that I'm going to tell you, that I'm always going to tell you anytime you wander back and see me, is that I want you to be doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? If not, I need you to jump on that, all right? You need to sit down with your feelings a couple of times a day, at the very least. We want to do first thing in the morning when we first wake up, and there is a moment in the morning where you're fine. Right? There is a moment where everything is all right. You have just aroused yourself from sleep and it is not a bad day yet. Okay. Then the next second, you start to feel tense because you remember that this trauma happened to you. Tell me that that's not exactly what happened. It's a moment of peace and then it comes flooding in. When you do your journaling, I want you to talk about what comes flooding in. Those first few thoughts, those first few things that just bubble up to the surface. Those are the things you need to pay attention to. That's what you need to be working on healing for that day. All right. So that's what you're doing when you're journaling, is discovering these feelings and then putting them down on paper so that you can work on them. And then as you get more and more entries into your journal, you will find patterns in them that will help you fight those feelings better. Okay. Cassandra, I see you over there. You said it feels good, right? It feels good to do the deep breathing. When you sit and just give yourself that little bit of self-care time, that was less than a minute, right? Doing that 5 times a day, it'll take you like 20 minutes out of your day if you just stop and go ahead and do it. And it will change how you're feeling inside your body, start to help you to regulate, get you back on your feet instead of feeling so wobbly. Okay. So anyway, we're going to do our deep breathing. And then we're going to do our journaling. You're going to do your journaling twice a day, first thing in the morning when you wake up and those thoughts bubble to the surface, and then right before you get ready to go to bed. A lot of people have nightmares. Things are disturbed when they go to bed. And if you go ahead and do your deep breathing and do your journaling right before you get ready to go to bed, you are going to tell your brain, "Hey, I know this is important stuff. I know this freaks you out. You can work on it, but I got to go to bed. We got to shut down for the night. I need some sleep. I can't be, up all night with nightmares, screaming and panting. I need you to work on this while I'm asleep and then meet up with me in the morning and we will talk about it." All right. Whatever bubbles to mind first thing, that's the answer to whatever it was I was going to sleep on. All right. So then you are training your brain to not only let you sleep, but to work on problems that it knows that you will come back to because it's in the journal. You have sat down and written it down in the special book. It is there in the journal. So you're going to come back to it. You're not going to forget. And so your brain can let it go. And that's the key. If you can just stop those awful thoughts all the time, you can start to heal from this. Okay. Couple things you need to do when you're journaling. You need to do your date, you need to do your time, you need to do your level of anxiety. Those three things are going to give you lots of clues, lots of touch points to figure out exactly what's going on with you. The date and time are to let you know when things happen. I want you to do this first thing in the morning before you go to bed. You may notice things that tend to happen in the morning and tend to happen at night, but also during the day, if you're stressing, writing your journal for about 5 minutes. And that's all I want you to do. Anytime you write in it, it's 5 minutes. Put the things that are top of mind, the most important. Just make shorthand notes about it. Don't try and go all deeply into depth about it. Just write yourself a little note to figure out, oh, this is what didn't feel quite right inside my body in the moment. If you are doing that consistently, you will be able to find patterns in the times and the dates that, oh, every Wednesday I feel some kind of way, like at 8 o'clock in the evening. You can start to figure out exactly what happened at 8 o'clock in the evening on a Wednesday that made you feel like that. And more than that, you can start to anticipate that that will happen. And so you can start doing things to comfort yourself before it even happens. You can get the jump on the triggers. That's gold. That if we can just do that, if we don't have to suffer through every single trigger anymore, we can anticipate that it's coming because we know the date and the time generally when it happens. We are going to be more in control of this healing process. We are not going to stay so traumatized for so long. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense to you. I get excited about it. So your level of anxiety, that's the last thing I need you to make sure that you're journaling right before you start and then right after you finish. 0 to 10. 0 is everything is great. All is right with the world. You need to make a note at the top of the page on that. I put it way up here in the top corner. So if I just flip the book, I can see those marks that say, oh, this was a good day. This was a 0 day. This was a good day. You need that. You need to be able to access it quickly because your brain on trauma will tell you your whole life is shit and nothing is good and it's always awful and you have never had a good day in your life. Okay. You need to be able to prove that that's a lie. Your brain will lie to you when you are traumatized. And so you need to have written down the good days, the good moments where you're like, you know what? It wasn't that bad today. I actually had an all right time today. This was a great day. This was a wonderful day. I didn't even have any experiences with the trauma, any anxiety. Everything was going well. I was feeling good with my honey. Things were okay. You need to know those days do happen because the trauma will try and erase them, make it so that they never even happen. And then you don't remember. And then you always think everything is bad. And so then you feel like the love is disappearing. Okay. Um, a 10. A 10 is an absolute loss of control. A 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked because I am so out of control of myself. I feel so awful. I am not able to restrain myself. Okay. I mean, you are yelling, you are throwing things. You don't care if the neighbors call the police. You are willing to run them over with a car. All sorts of things will happen to you when you are in that 10 space. If you're able to sit down and write in your journal, it is not a 10. Okay. If you are able to control yourself enough to open up a book and take pen to paper, you're not quite at a 10. It'll give you a gauge for how bad it is. If you're like, oh, I'm writing in my journal, so it must be a little less than a 10. It feels like a 9.5. It does. But I'm not quite at a 10. So you can have a realistic idea about how big these feelings get. Because these feelings will try and act like a 7 is like the end of the world. Okay. An 8 is just, oh, don't wake up in the morning. It is overwhelming when you are trying to heal from a trauma, because the trauma exaggerates everything all out of proportion, makes you feel like your reality is always terrible. So if you got a fence around these feelings, it's solid, that like a 0 is everything is great, a 10 is I have lost control of myself. That's as big as it can get. That's the worst possible thing that can happen, because that's when you end up on Snapped. Okay. That's when you end up doing things that end up putting you on the news, because you have lost control of yourself. So we can know it cannot get any worse than that. If you are feeling like that, you are throwing the remote control at his head, all sorts of things like that. You are out of control. You are not within yourself. That is a 10. You can come back and write about it later, but you can't sit down with the journal and say, right this minute, I'm at a 10, because you're not throwing things, you're not flipping out, and you are in control of yourself enough to write. Okay. So when you're doing your journaling, I want you to really consider 5 minutes. That's it. You do not need to do more than that. A lot of the time, if you just write the thing that comes right up to the surface, you will get clearer pictures about what's actually happening, what's actually wrong. Okay. All right. So, okay, good stuff. The third thing that I always talk to you about is that I want you to develop an attitude of gratitude. Now, I know it feels like you don't have things to be grateful for right now. When you are dealing with the trauma of infidelity, you're like, this person that I love so much betrayed me. How can I be grateful? How could I? But the thing is, gratitude can transcend that trauma. Gratitude is, I am grateful that things exist that makes my life easier, that are wondrous to behold, that are miracles of our age. I am glad these things exist. Your brain, even though you are traumatized by what they did, you can still recognize a modern miracle. You can still be grateful for electricity. All right. Having electricity, I am able to see. I can turn these lights on. I can go to the bathroom at night and the toilet will flush. I am grateful for that. I am grateful I can wake up in the middle of the night and put my headphones in and listen to music. I am grateful that I have a roof over my head. I am grateful for the internet. I am grateful that these things exist and that they're in my life. Just that little bit of gratitude, if you start to pull from that well on a regular basis, it's going to fight against one of the effects of the trauma. The trauma wants you to think everything is bad. So if you are consistently, just every day when you write in your journal, writing 5 things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for arms. I'm grateful for legs. I'm grateful for fingernails. I am grateful for great colors of lipstick. I am grateful for good skin. I am grateful for the color green. I am grateful for gold. I am grateful for so many things every single day. I am glad that they're in my life. I would be sad if they weren't here. If you are consistently doing that, your brain will take up that challenge instead of the challenge of always thinking about the worst case scenario. So if you are challenging your brain every single day, every time you open your journal, you are challenging your brain to find you things that you are grateful for, it will start to overlap into your regular everyday life. Your brain will not just stop at journaling about good things. It will be offering them to you throughout the day. Be like, oh, this color is a beautiful color on this car. And look at how gorgeous the sky is. The blue sky with the white clouds. Look how beautiful that is. And look how green and lush everything is. It's springtime and there are flowers blooming. Your brain will start to hand you things to be grateful for, to feel good about, instead of handing you things that make you miserable, that make you sad, that make you upset. Okay? Does that make sense? We've got to start working on that. Gratitude practice. Put that in your journal every single solitary day. It will become a practice. All you need is 17 seconds of a positive thought for your brain to offer you another positive thought. So if we are consistently doing that, we're not constantly thinking about how we were cheated on and how hurt we are and how devastated that this whole thing has made us. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about how beautiful flowers are. We're thinking about how grateful we are to have transportation. We're thinking about how lovely it is to live where we live. Okay? We can think of better thoughts than the ones that the trauma will try and hand us. Okay? All right, last thing before we get all into the lesson for the day is that I want you to hear me on this. I want you to understand where I'm coming from on this because you're going to resist. Okay. You're going to say, no, that is not the way that I was told. But remember, I told you at the beginning of this that I was told a whole bunch of ways to heal that didn't work. All right. I tried them, I did them. And then when I did the exact opposite, it worked. Okay. This is one of those things. Stop asking him all those damn questions. Stop it. Stop it. Stop asking. Don't ask. Don't ask. Zip it up. Do not ask the questions. I know I am telling you something that nobody else says. I know that you feel like I should be able to ask whatever questions that I want. He better answer them because that's the only way I'm going to stick with him. But it's not, though. That is the trick. That's what trauma does to you. It makes you believe that if you get all the answers to your questions, then somehow you will magically heal from being able to hear all those things. And if he doesn't give you every single answer that you want, then he is trying not to help you heal, and that will bar you from healing. All of that is lies. Okay. All of that is lies. It's just lies that your brain made up on the trauma to try and make you find more ammunition against him. That's what that is. It is building brick by brick by brick the wall between you. That is what it wants. Your brain, when it is trying to protect you, it's like, let me gather information. This information is going to go into the wall that's coming up between us because the more information I get, the more little details that I can get, the higher I can make this wall. Okay, that is what your brain is doing. It will tell you that this is to heal you. It will tell you that. Yes, it will, but it is lying. I promise you. So, in order to stop that, I need you to stop asking questions. If you can stop asking him all about the affair, hell, if you can stop asking him altogether, any question at all, because any question will trigger that loop. It will remind your body and your brain of the trauma, and it will lead you back around to a question about the affair. So if you can stop asking questions altogether for a little bit, it would help you. It will stop that loop in its tracks. I'm not even asking a question, so I can't get to that part where we're bending it to talk about the affair again. All right, you are preventing your brain from ever even getting there in the first place, if you can do it. But definitely don't ask him any more questions about the affair. You have all the information you need. You have every bit of information that you need. You do not need any more. You already know he cheated. What else do you need to know? What detail would make this better? Like, there's nothing that is going to help you in that information. You've got the basics of it. He cheated. Okay. And like I said, as you start to heal, as you do the work of healing, as you start down the path, those details start to come up. They start to come to the surface because we are living authentically. We are aligned with one another as we are healing. So those things start to surface all by themselves. You don't have to keep asking all the questions. And the more you do this now, the further you are from being able to heal because your brain will not allow you to get anywhere near healing because it's like, well, I haven't asked all the questions. Not all the questions have been answered yet. So then we can't heal yet because of that. It will give you the excuse that it's doing it to heal you and then say, no, we can't heal yet. Okay. We've got to recognize that it's a trap that our brain will keep us in just because we're traumatized, and we got to fight against it. So you have to fight that. No, I will not answer these. I will not ask him these questions. I will not do it. I will not sit here and dwell on this pain, because that's all I'm doing is dwelling on pain. I'm not gathering any information that will help me in making the decision and getting past the fear of this decision. I'm not doing anything like that when I'm asking all these questions. Okay? So trust me, just try it. All right. Trust me and just try it. Don't ask the questions and see if it's a little bit easier for you. Okay. All right. So that's the big stuff. Those are the practices. Those are some of the practices that I do with my clients every single day. Do your deep breathing, do your journaling, do your gratitude practice. Stop asking those questions. These are the building blocks of shaving down the effects of this trauma on your body and your brain. If you're doing these things consistently, when there is trouble that arises, you start doing the practices, you're going to stumble upon one that's going to help you. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit today about trust. We're going to talk about the 3 biggest trust mistakes that women make after infidelity. I know that the things that I'm going to say seem like they are the perfect things to do. Like, of course, I'm supposed to do this. But again, it's a trauma. The trauma is affecting you. So these things that feel like they're supposed to be safe are actually not bringing back any trust. They're not helping you to get to any firmer ground in your relationship. They're making everything more shaky. Okay. So most women after infidelity are trying to heal very hard. They're trying to rebuild the trust. But sometimes the things that we're doing that feel like we're supposed to be trusting, feel like they're supposed to be safer, keep us stuck in the moment. So tonight I want to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes I see women make after betrayal. Going down here. All right. So the first thing is monitoring him instead of healing. Like, some of these trust behaviors actually keep your nervous system feeling unsafe, and monitoring him is the chief number one of those. If you are monitoring him all the time, checking his phone constantly, yes, you can have his password, but you should be resisting the urge to use it. Okay. Watching his location. Okay. Yes, you can do it. You should be avoiding the urge to do it. All of that is hypervigilance. It's just watching, just in case. I need to make sure that I don't miss the thing this time. I don't miss seeing when he's doing the bad things these time. Monitoring creates this temporary relief, but it's not long-term safety. And so then the next time you go to do it, you feel bad even before you do it. And then doing it makes you feel worse. And then you're like, well, but at least I did it. But then you're like, I don't really even believe those results. Let me go back and check again. It is a constant cycle of suspicion, this paranoia that something bad is going to happen if you're not constantly watching. I know it feels like you should be watching what he's doing. This is the time to take some of your attention off of him. Okay. Let me just be real clear about that. You don't need to keep watching him right now. You need to take some of that attention away from him, because as you were trying to heal from this, okay, yes, you love him and you want to be with him, but you cannot be so hyper focused on him that he feels like this will never end. You are always going to be focused on what he has done. You're always going to be talking to him about it. You're always going to be snooping on him. Nothing is ever going to get back to normal. You want him to start feeling like things are normal so you can see how he acts when things are normal, when he is not under that constant threat of you being able to see what he's doing. You need to see if he's willing to actually change. If you are constantly watching, you're never going to believe that he's changing, because you're always watching. You're always letting him know that you're watching. And so then his behavior is going to be different then. We need to know that we're actually safe by taking some of that attention off, letting him go do what he do. And then you will see for sure if you need to trust him again. Okay, you will know. You will be positive about it because you've been taking care of yourself. And then when you come back, oh, he's acting up. Okay, all right. It's not like you're going to miss it. You knew. You found this out. Most women find it out. Yeah, there are some that, he ends up telling you. Yeah, that does happen some of the time. But most women that I come across, they found out. They felt something was wrong. They knew something was off and they went to look for it and they found it. Most of the time, that's the way it's going to happen. So you're not going to miss anything by not being all hypervigilant and obsessive about him. Okay. You're not going to miss it. I promise you. After a trauma, you're even more sensitive to it. So you will pick up on the signs even faster. You don't have to keep watching. Okay. And as you do that, you are teaching your body, I don't need to be watching him to feel safe. I do not need to be constantly observing him to feel like he's not doing something to hurt me. You have to keep teaching your body that after a trauma like this. Um, I'm not shaming the monitoring thing. If you really have to do it, okay, fine, but it's not helpful for your healing. I understand why you're doing it. I understand that it is a call. It is your body screaming to watch him because it's treating him like a threat. I get why that's happening. You can understand why it's happening and still understand that it's not the best thing for you. Okay? It doesn't help the healing process move along if you are constantly watching him, constantly supervising him, trying to figure out what he's doing. Okay. Monitoring can tell you what he's doing, but it can't teach your body to feel safe again. You are teaching your body by monitoring that it shouldn't feel safe again, and then it's impossible for you to heal and this rift between the two of you because you are constantly feeling unsafe. We've got to get back our safety. Okay. The second mistake that women make, especially about trusting after reconciling while they're trying to reconnect, is waiting to feel safe before you reconnect. Because look, that's the wrong order. Okay. In order to feel like you are safe, you have to start the reconnection first. That's just the way it goes. I'm sorry. I know it's disappointing. I know it is. Because you're like, I got to open myself up and be vulnerable to him just to feel safe. Yeah, that's how it works. If you are consistently clenched down, hiding away, doing that fight or flight thing, you're consistently treating him like he is a threat to you. And so then you're never healing. You're never actually getting any better. You're never actually beginning to trust, and you're not able to reconnect with somebody that you can't trust at all. So you got to flip it around. You got to start the reconnecting first, and then you can feel a little bit safer as you do it because you'll have proof then as you're reconnecting and nothing bad happens, then you'll have proof that, oh, I wasn't wrong for reconnecting. All right. Um, Women often wait for like zero fear before you open up again, but safety is built through connection. It's built through those moments where you actually get to reach each other heart to heart again. That is what built the relationship in the first place. That's what will rebuild it after betrayal. So if you are wanting to laugh together, if you're wanting to have sex, if you're wanting to touch, if you want to be vulnerable, if you want to have conversations, do that. Don't wait. Don't wait for the feeling that you can do it. Go ahead and do it. And then you will be surprised how often the healing will meet you in those moments. When those moments where you just go ahead and reach out to him, those moments where you sit down and you watch something, you laugh together, the moments where you just open up and have a conversation, not accusations, not talking to him about the trauma and what you've been through, but actually having real conversations again. That's where you meet your healing. That's where the healing will arrive and say, oh, good, I'm so glad. This is a wonderful place for us to meet. In the middle of a conversation together, in between the two smiles that the two of you are sharing, that's a great place to meet you. And so then that helps you to feel more safe. You don't want to wait until trust is complete to start to connect. Reconnection is part of how the trust rebuilds. You can't get to the trust unless you start with some of the reconnection. You've got to actually try to be closer to this person if you want to actually trust them again. Because at this point, the trust is a decision. Just like being able to get past this is a decision, the trust is a decision now. The third thing that I see women making mistakes with as they're trying to heal, trying to reconcile, trying to reconnect, trying to trust again, is letting the fear speech lead you. The fear speech is all of those terrible thoughts that come to the surface. And then you not only hear them inside your head, but you hear them from outside. You hear them in the other groups that you're in. You hear them from other women who have been through this. And I feel so stupid. And I don't believe that he can ever love me again. He's definitely going to cheat on me again. I'm never going to heal from this. Those voices are universal. Every single woman you will ever meet who was cheated on had the exact same soundtrack playing in her head. They are all universal. That does not mean they are correct. Okay. Those thoughts, those fearful thoughts that you get from inside and the ones you get from outside, yes, they're universal, but that does not mean that you can't overcome them. You can't get to real healing in spite of them. Okay. Fear is protective, it's not prophetic. It is, your fear is not trying to tell your future. Your fear is trying to take the past and protect you from it. That's what it's doing. What happened in the past, what was behind us, hurt us. So I'm trying to prevent the past from happening to us again. It is not about your future at all. It is not trying to lead you towards your future at all. So we have to understand that those fears, even though they are universal and you will hear them from everybody around you, they are not necessarily there to stop you from moving forward. And honestly, like all of this stuff that I'm talking to you about, this all is going to be covered in my trust issues challenge coming up next week. Okay. Every bit of this, making the decisions, not dealing with the fear, um, learning how to reconnect. All of this is going to be addressed in the Trust Issues Challenge next week. If you have not signed up for the Trust Issues Challenge, I need to tell you, okay? You need to be with me as we are exploring this because your triggers were created automatically when this trauma happened to you. But those triggers are preventing you from feeling safety. So we've got to learn to start to undo the triggers and get ourselves feeling more safe and then rebuilding the trust because it can be rebuilt. I know people will tell you that, no, it'll never be rebuilt. I am not asking you to trust him 100%. I think that that's nuts. I don't think we should be trusting any other person 100%. I think that's crazy. I think you need to get back to a healthy grade of trust. If a healthy grade for you is like, oh, I trust him about 70%, that's passing. Oh, that's better than nothing, right? That's better than I have no trust in him whatsoever. 80%. All right. He's doing pretty good. He's got to be, all overall. There are some areas where he's not the most trustworthy, but he does pretty well. He passes pretty clearly. I can trust him on most things. All right. And then he can get a maybe 90%. All right. I loved a 90 in school. I loved 90. It less than I didn't want to go into the 80s, but and 90 for me when I was in school was still an A. So about 90 was good for me. 92 was even better. All right. Somewhere in there, if I can just build up my trust about 90%, that's a lot. That is trusting somebody a ton. If we really think about it, how much do you trust yourself? How much do you trust yourself? Like, is it 100% for you? Most people I talk to, they're like, no, I don't trust myself 100%. And that's reasonable. That's a reasonable thing because we fail ourselves sometimes. So we can't trust ourselves 100%. So that means we can't trust any other person 100%. So we got to trust ourselves top. And then everybody else is below that. Okay. You need to have the top grade in your trust. Don't worry about anybody else. Okay. We can rebuild trust with people that we want to have trust, but it is a decision and it's practice. It's things that you can do. Trust is an action word. It's a verb. It's something you do. So it's not going to be something you have if you don't do it. You've got to do trust to have trust. So we're going to calm our nervous systems down next week in the Trust Issues Challenge. We're going to get ourselves centered. We're going to do activities of trust as we are going along. We're going to do all week different activities of trusting instead of allowing ourselves to feel trapped in the corner and feel like we can't love and we can't forgive and we can't trust anymore. We're going to show our bodies and our brains that yes, we can. Absolutely, we can. It's small things, little steps, but the more little steps we take, the further along we're going to get on the path. Okay? So I want you to stop feeling controlled by your fears, triggers, constant overthinking in your journey to healing after infidelity. I want you to be able to feel the trust again, to feel centered within yourself and feel like you can get to a good place because you have practiced. You have seen what it is to actually trust, and you practiced it, and you've tried it on, and you have gotten a little comfortable with it all week. That's what we're going to be doing. It's just getting comfortable. So if the things that I was talking about in this live tonight, if those things resonate with you, if that's your life, if you have been monitoring and you just feel like you can't get close again, and those thoughts are just screaming in your head all the time, you need to come sign up for the Trust Issues Challenge. All right. So I am going to put that in the comments. As a matter of fact, everywhere that I am live right now, it will be in the comments. All right, one second. Let me grab that. I can put that everywhere. All right, we're going to go to YouTube, put that in the comments on the chat. We are going. Oh, hey, look, I had it on two things on YouTube. Okay. I had two different lives going on there, didn't I? Beautiful. All right, put it in the comments over there. Just click that link, and all you need to do to sign up for the Trust Issues Challenge is give me your name and your email. Those are only the two things that are required, but I absolutely will put in I will give you space to actually talk to me about what is going on with your trust. Like, what is really bothering you about trust? What is like giving you the worst trouble? What is it that you are feeling like, okay, I cannot get this. I can't get a hold of myself when I am dealing with this particular issue about trusting again. I give you the opportunity to tell me about it in that link. But you don't even need to do that. As long as you sign up, put your name and your email, and then you will get an email from me, which is going to tell you a little bit about the actual challenge, and it's going to direct you to my Facebook group for the challenge. I do my challenges in another separate Facebook group so I can keep it organized. So I just put it on my Love Coach Dasha page. If you're here with me on Love Coach Dasha, hi. And I am putting it on the Love After Cheating page. Now, if you have not joined Love After Cheating, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do that. Come join my Facebook group, Love After Cheating. This is a 6,000 member strong group. This is all women who want to stay and heal and reconcile. That is what we are doing there. All right. So I want you to come and join us there. All right. You do not have to feel like you are the odd woman out. You are not. I started doing this because there was a need for it. I was a coach for couples. I did premarital coaching. I actually did perform weddings and everything. And it kept being a thing. Every time I would talk to a couple, they would be having these same problems, a lot of communication, a lot of sex issues, a lot of problems that they were having before they got married. And then it would finally come out, well, he did cheat on me some years ago, and I don't know if I've ever quite gotten over that. It kept being a thing. Every time I was coaching a couple, I would have to start off with, okay, look, I know you don't want to tell me about this. I know that there's some shame and stigma attached to it, but has he cheated? Is that the core, the nut of what's actually happening here? And every time women are like, Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. That's where the problems is coming from, is because he cheated, and I've never quite been able to get over it. So I have been doing this because I kept having to solve that problem. I kept having to tell women how to heal from that in order to get to the place where they were ready to get married. So that's what I started doing, and it just became laser focused. Around 2019, I just got laser focused on it. I was like, I might as well go ahead and help this set of women. I might as well go ahead and help women who are trying to heal and reconcile after this infidelity has shattered them, because you're going to need it. There were so many women who stayed. People keep on acting like women don't stay after infidelity, but it happens all the time. And I kept running into that as an issue. So if that is an issue, I will help you solve it. I have figured out the path. I know how to heal from this, and I want to help you do it. And next week, doing the trust issues challenge, if the trust issues have been troubling you, that is the time to come and work them out, to figure them out, to get to a better place, to get back to trust. Okay. So that's about it for right now. The link for the challenge is in the comments. But if you are on any other social media and you're seeing me and you want to get in on the trust issues challenge, go ahead and put in trust issues in the comment, and I will get right back to you. DM me trust issues. I will send you the link and you can get in on the trust issues challenge, the 7th annual trust issues challenge, coming up next week. Okay. All right, y'all, that's about it. So, one more thing before I go. I've been telling you the practices, right? I want to tell you one more practice. Remember how I said that the trauma will make everything seem like it's bad? It will include you. That trauma will try and make you believe that you are bad, that you are terrible, that you are selfish, that you are just the worst woman in the world. And that's how this ended up happening to you. It is not true. Okay? What somebody else did wrong is not about you. That's about them and their own pain. That's what that is. You don't have to take the blame for that. So you've got to start doing your affirmations. You've got to sit down in front of your mirror, in front of your camera, look yourself in the eye, and say it like you mean it. Say it like it's the most true thing you've ever said in your entire life. Say it like this is your best friend you're talking to, and you want her to believe that this wonderful thing that you are saying is true of her. If you can do that on a consistent basis, you can stop the damage that your brain is doing to your brain by saying, oh, well, you're just a doormat, and this is why he was able to cheat on you because you're just not good enough. All of that mess will start to go away when you start to work on your affirmations. So uh, we're going to keep it easy this time. All right. We're going to keep it very, very simple this time. I am loving and trusting. That is our affirmation for this week. I am loving and trusting. It does not have to be true now. That is not the point of an affirmation. It can be something you aspire to. It can be what you want your life to be. It can be you coming into alignment with yourself. So it's okay if it isn't right this second. You still say it as an I am statement. You still tell your brain over and over again that you are loving and trusting because you want your brain to hear that message. You want your brain to say, oh, but wait, we're loving and trusting. So I should act loving and trusting this time. And then it will consistently try to match up with your expectations of it. Your brain will listen to you. You just have to speak in a way that it's going to hear and understand, and it's not going to make everything worse. Okay? So, your affirmation for this week is I am loving and trusting. Okay? All right, y'all. I don't see any questions, comments. Oh wait, Angela, I didn't even see you. Hey, you said I don't know if you ever really get over it. You learn how to live with it and move past it, and that's the big thing, right? We don't need to like forget it. That's unnecessary. Trauma is trauma. Trauma will exist regardless, and it changes who we are. It makes us into the next version of ourselves. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You've got to learn to be the next version of yourself, the person that healed, the person that finished that story. That's okay. It's okay if you never go back to exactly who you were before that happened. That's not the point. The point is to move past it and get a better sense of your own self, your own worth, your own decision making, trusting in yourself that you can absolutely do this. You can make things work with the person that you love, even under devastating circumstances. You'll prove to yourself that you're Superwoman. You will prove it to yourself. You will know for sure how powerful and how wonderful and how terrible you really are. Okay? So I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to believe that even if you don't just get over it, you're going to learn how to live with this. You're going to learn how to trust again. You're going to learn how to reconnect. You're going to learn how to listen to your good thoughts instead of your negative ones. You are going to learn that you are the most important thing in this equation. It's a good thing to do, okay? So don't forget your practices. Do your deep breathing, do your journaling, do your gratitude practice. Stop asking him all those questions and make sure that you do your affirmations at least once a day, okay? A couple times a day. I talk good to myself all the time. I'm like, oh, look how beautiful she is. Look how gorgeous her hair is. Look how shiny. Look how much of a glow she has. I tell myself that type of stuff all the time. And it might be considered conceit, but so what? All right. I'm gonna feel good about myself. All right. So I want you to be doing the practices consistently. Put practices in the comments if you'd like to get a copy of the practices that I tell you about. But if nobody else has told you lately, I love you. And I am so, so proud of you. And while you're doing all those things, the most important thing is to make sure that you don't do what the fear and the pain tell you to do. You are leaning into love and forgiveness and understanding and compassion. And I'm proud of you for that. You don't have to lean into the fear and the suspicion and the paranoia and the anger. That is what the pain wants you to do. It wants you to lean into those negative feelings. But that's not the type of person you are now, is it? You are a wonderful, loving, just compassionate being on this planet. And we need more people like you. We need that. If anything in the whole wide world is needed right now, we need more love. We need more forgiveness. We need more compassion. We need more. So you are doing that. You are doing unconditional love, even in a situation where you have every right not to. So you're really, really causing good things to happen on this planet. And I'm proud of you for that. Okay? All right. Don't see anything else. So join me for the Trust Issues Challenge next week. And I love you. And I'm so, so proud of you. Mwah. Come walk the path with me. You can heal. Okay? Bye, y'all.